All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sitting here. I'm doing some. Uh, I'm eating some biscuits and gravy, having some coffee, thinking. Right, been watching as I'm eating here breakfast. Some of this lame Staley stuff. And what's interesting with the Lane Staley stuff is if they would have investigated that case, we would have seen if any of the story was true. With the whole thing that Mike Starr was saying and a couple other people were saying, if we would have only investigated, I know in Seattle they don't investigate what they say is suicide or whatever, uh, or overdose, drug overdose. But if they would have used their head and at least looked at the cameras, they would have been able to tell the last time Lane left his apartment. They also would have been able to tell who came to his apartment and who left. But being that it was an overdose in Seattle, they don't spend the money to investigate. So what I'm saying is Mike Starr said he was there that day and Lane said, "Don't leave me this way," all this stuff. We have no proof that that is ever or even true. Uh, I hate to say it, a lot of people, hey, Mike Starr had it. Yeah, well, like I said, there is no actual proof that Mike Starr was there that day, right? He might have, but there's actually no proof of that other than his word. And Mike Starr was a user, very bad, uh, very bad user, pills, heroin, all kinds of stuff. So if they would have looked at the cameras, if they the security cameras, uh, if they would have only investigated it a little bit, then they would have seen all this. They would have seen, hey, Lane hasn't come out of his apartment. That was the last time he came out of his apartment and went back in. And here's the people within that time, within that month. Here's the people that came and went out of the apartment or condo. And, if Mike Starr was there, it would all been proven. No, there's Mike Starr. He was there that day. But really, none of it is actually true. I can't say Mike Starr was telling the truth because there's no evidence of him being there. Right? He would have had to been logged. He would have had to been buzzed in. Uh, Lane would have seen him on the camera. Had to buzz him in. Now there might be footage, security footage, because that phone was also like a security phone. It was connected to the camera outside. So when someone rang his bell, the camera would go and Lane would be able to see who it was. So, did they have that evidence? Is my question to the Seattle Police Department or the condo building that he was living in. There certainly should have been STB or whatever it is, security camera footage of that. But like I said, in an overdose, and somebody might have known that the police would not investigate it. There could have been somebody that knew that in an overdose, police will not investigate it in satellite or Seattle. I'm just saying, when it comes down to that kind of money and drugs, I would have I would have done a private investigation into it. It would have gave us all the answers we needed, and the footage, the camera, the security footage would have let us know exactly who was there. Now, there is some new voice recording out on Lane. Now, whether he did this recording, it's like a book, right? For all we know, Lane might have been recording everything and doing his own biography or whatever. So I don't know. Would I reopen the case to look into it more a little bit, or would I have investigated it a little more? I would have at least looked at the security cameras in his condo. I would have at least done that to see exactly who was coming and who was going at that time, right? A month or so when Lane passed away, to see exactly if any of these stories were true that these people were saying, or exactly what happened. Because, like I said, if somebody knew that they weren't going to investigate over an overdose, then yeah, it could have been staged. That's very well possible. Somebody with the money Lane had, uh, and the people that were he was around, and their addictions and everything. Yeah, very possible. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's my opinion on breaking news. Right, only if they would have looked at the security cameras and investigated it a little bit, they might have found something, or at least they might have found that somebody was lying. Right? I don't know. Crazy. God rest uh, Lane Stayleys' soul. Uh, now there are rumors. Maybe he went to rehab and got well. Maybe, hopefully, good God, hopefully. He's one of the most powerful voices. Now, you folks, we've gone from sunny to cloudy now, so we do have chances of storm today. So be safe. God bless. I'm having some biscuits and gravy, some coffee, and the legend of Lane Staley goes on, and Alice in Chains. I want to give a shout out to Jerry Cantrell. He's still rocking like a mofo out there, pumping them out. Uh, and the band goes on, man. That's all you can do. Have a good day, folks.